Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303. Introducing one co-host with more nuggets than Chick-fil-A, Nick Morahan. Executive producer until we find someone better, Eric Washington. Nobody really knows what he does around here, Nevada Putnam. And now, the single greatest thing to happen to hosting in history, Jermaine Antonio Colon Mendez. On with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303, episode 281. I'm your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez, and this is my co-host. And as always, we have with us the executive producers, the EPE, and without further ado, how are you doing this evening, Eric?
Doing good, man. In the month of October, as the listeners know, October is my favorite month, but it's been a rough one. Baseball season ended October 8th for me. Philadelphia Sixers already have a major injury, so not a strong start to the month.
Yeah, I mean, but you have the whole month, though. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. Those are just two things in the whole month.
Yeah, true. We'll see how it goes.
Only you would fixate on that. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Eagles 3-2, Texas undefeated, but no, we will focus on the negative for the listeners.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Down in the doldrums.
Whatever, dude.
Whatever, dude. Thank you for joining us on today's episode. We'll be getting into the NBA Future Series. This will be one of the two episodes that we will record today. So if you see us with the same T-shirts, judge all you want, you hoot nannies. Today's episode, we'll get into the Southwest Division and the Central Division. Don't ask me why we picked those two.
There's no rhyme or reason.
There's no rhyme or reason.
I just wanted it to end with Pacific and Atlantic. That's all I wanted to happen.
We're in EPE's world. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's just how it goes. But
not a logical one.
We'll get into the Chicago Bulls and how they're about to win the chip again. Shout out Lonzo Ball Day. I'm eagerly anticipating the next 30 minutes so I can change this god-awful Philadelphia 76ers game to the Chicago Bulls game. And so we can see Lonzo Ball run point the way God intended. But I have one quick question for you before we get into it.
All right.
And then don't take too long.
All right.
Who is coming into the season in peak Olympic form?
Oh.
Who's your top pick to take that leap? Because you know how I always talk about it. If you played summer hoops,
yeah,
you come into the season game ready, sharp as a tack. And so, who are you picking to take a leap and have a red hot start to the year?
You know what?
Do you need names?
No, I got it. I think there's two for me. I think the main one that I think is gonna just his character, his motivation, his love for the game, being around all those OGs. I think Ant's gonna take a big leap now with Cat gone too. A lot more of that weight is gonna be on him. He's coming off that Olympic.
Come back from that limb, dog. Way to go out there, dude.
And the next one I was gonna say that isn't as obvious. I think Tyrese Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah,
huh?
I think. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. He didn't have like a major impact. Like none of his numbers stood out, but
he barely played, big fella.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but just being in that environment with all those guys, again, something that's gonna help this kid. Young. He's already. I mean, hopefully he didn't stop working out after the Olympic break. You know, I'm sure some of the guys did, but those would be my two candidates. Like, who do you got?
I'll go out there on the limb with you, big fella. So if you don't mind holding me, I'm going Dyson Daniels.
Okay.
From Australia.
Yeah.
Do you know what team he plays for?
No.
Would you? Come on now. There's only 30 guesses. give me one.
Pelicans.
Give me a team. Pelicans?
Yeah.
He was traded from the Pelicans this offseason.
Hawks?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
To the Hawks, yeah.
Hey, deduction, dude. I just used it.
Yeah, wow. So that's who I'm picking to come out and have a strong season that nobody really sees coming.
Honestly, can I say something? When you said an Olympic basketball player, my mind didn't even go anywhere outside of Team USA.
I know.
Foolishly, I should have. looked around. But yeah, no, my mind went straight to who's on Team USA roster that I can hype up.
Yeah, that's why I said way to go out on a limb, dog.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
You took NBA, like the NBA is literally force feeding everyone right now. I think Anthony Edwards would be real good. Yeah, so does the NBA, dog.
Maybe you never know. You can have a hard fall off.
Dog, yeah, okay.
Ben Simmons used to be good at basketball. Now he doesn't even know how to
Yeah,
play.
but this is the year. If you heard Ben Simmons tell it.
Yeah.
Every year.
Broken record.
So he's the most confident I'm in. I think that him getting traded to the Hawks gives him more opportunity for playing time. He was kind of buried behind some people. There's a ton of Canada cats that I could pick. I mean, that's obviously a very good team. Obviously, you could pick USA players as well. But I'm going to go Nikola Jovic.
Okay.
From Serbia.
Yeah.
Plays for the Heat.
Yeah.
And last but not least, I mean, I'll just lump them together, dude. The Wagner brothers, bro. The Wagner. Just kidding. Wagner.
I like it.
No relation to X-Men Kurt Wagner, aka the Nightcrawler. I looked it up.
You looked it up?
For those listeners who were concerned. So there's no blue in their DNA. Just ice cold. Yeah, so I think Franz Wagner is set to take that leap, and we'll see another great season from the Magic. Now, if they suck, you heard it here first. Classic podcast fade. So let's go ahead and get into our first division. Which one do you want to start with?
Real quick, I'd like to make another submission.
Nah, too late, dog.
Josh Giddey, Australia.
Too late,
He's
dog.
Gonna come out and hoop. Out of
Nah. You rock your Anthony Edwards and Tyrese Halliburton. Way to pick all stars in the NBA.
Whatever, dude. I didn't understand. I didn't know the full scope of the question until you started getting your answer. I was like, oh, I fucked up.
What did I ask a trick question?
All your questions are trick questions. I just started to think about it. Anywho, let's just start with the Southwest. Let's get this division out the way.
Cut and dry. Spurs winning it all.
No, boy.
Spurs take the ship. Oh, dude.
What?
My bad. I'm not ready. Do you have those links from before with departures and arrivals?
They should be in the doc. Let me go find them for you.
Yeah,
I also have
I'm
this
looking
little
too. Here we go. NBA. Copy. Ooh, filibuster.
Yeah. Last year, let's look at last year because it was an interesting year in this division. I actually picked the Rockets to win it, and they didn't. Clearly,
they got hot at the end, bro. They gave you a little chance.
They were a solid every night. They were putting up a fight until homeboy went down with the injury.
Actually, he went down, and that's when they went on that run. They pieced like 13 or 14 together. That's when
did it without him.
Yeah,
trade him to the Sixers, dude. All right.
Oh yeah. You do need a center.
Last year you picked the Pelicans to win this division. Nicholas also picked the Pelicans, and then I picked the Houston Rockets.
Fucking Zion.
Yeah, all bad, dude.
All bad. Do I double down and take the Pelicans again?
I would, now that they got my mans.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you're gay for Murray, dude.
Yeah, man. It's the best hooper in the league.
Not even the best Murray in the league.
He's significantly better than Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray just hasn't had a chance to put his game on a bigger stage because he rides shotgun with fucking the best player in basketball.
Significantly better? Is that the word you just said? Significantly? You don't want to just go with better?
Significantly better,
dude.
Especially because he plays on both ends.
He's not even the third best Murray in the league.
I'm running out of Murrays.
Yeah, Keegan and Chris, dog.
Oh, Keegan's pretty good.
He's better than Keegan. Come on now.
No. Anyway.
For my argument, he's not, though.
Bad.
Give us the order of last year's division.
So last year they finished. Dallas Mavericks finished first. New Orleans Pelicans finished second. The Houston Rockets finished third. Memphis finished fourth. That's kind of an anomaly. They didn't have half their team. And the San Antonio Spurs finished fifth with the exact same record the year they had before because Wemby is highly overrated.
Bro, you just king of unnecessary takes.
Nah, he's not overrated. He's a freaking animal, but he did not impact winning in the way that I had expected him to. That's all I'm going to say is he didn't impact winning in any way, shape, or form.
They got Chris Paul now, dude. Point God to the moon.
Yeah, on his 12 minutes a game, he'll help them.
I think he put like 20 pounds of muscle on, too, if I'm not mistaken. That's just
Medium,
that's my default number of muscle that players add every offseason.
20.
20. It's always 20, dog.
That's
I
a lot of muscle
remember
to add.
I remember reading the article.
Yeah.
Never the number. I just always default to 20. So if you hear me say someone added 20, you should probably fact check it. All right, Dallas Mavericks re-signed Markieff Morris and Brandon Williams. They added Spencer Dinwiddie on a one-year deal, Quentin Grimes via a trade with the Pistons, Najee Marshall on a 3-year deal, and Klay Thompson via sign and trade with the Warriors. They traded Josh Green to the Hornets. Not sure why. Tim Hardaway Jr. left in free agent. He was traded to the Pistons for that Quentin Grimes, part of that Quentin Grimes. And Derek Jones Jr., big loss, left to the Los Angeles Clippers. Dude, everyone thinks of him as a dunk person, but as a small ball center and pure energy guy and rebounding and hustle and heart, that dude's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He does all the dirty work. He used to play for the Bulls, so I would always watch him and be like, why did we let this guy go? Why did we let this guy go? All right, you want to give us the odds for the Mavericks?
Yeah, so they are predicted to finish first. For the finals, they have plus 1,000 odds. To win the Southwest, plus 115. To make the playoffs is minus 525. To miss the playoffs is plus 380. And their over-under has been set at 49.5 for wins.
Bro, I just looked up their full roster, and there's like 20-something players on this bitch.
Yeah, they're going to start trimming here in the next week.
Yeah, I need them to cut it already, dude. Jamarion Sharp, gone. All right, give us your picks for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
A.K.A. Eric's new favorite team.
No, we'll get into that later, but yeah.
No, right now. We're talking about the Mavericks. The fuck?
Well, it's because it's hard. I haven't really tried to pronounce it yet. So the Oakland, Dallas, Soda, Maverick Thunderwolves is my Western Conference team.
Yeah, say that 5 times fast, please, before we move on.
Oakland, Dallas, Soda, which is Oklahoma, Dallas, and Minnesota, for those that don't get that. The Sixers are going to let me down again this year, so I'm picking a Western Conference team, but I want to throw a wide net, so I'm picking 3 of them and just combining them.
I thought it was a soda.
You're an idiot. All right. I'm not really going to stray too far from chalk on this first round. I do have them winning the division. I think Klay Thompson, championship experience, isn't a superstar that quite needs the ball in his hand. We saw that for 12, 13 years in Golden State. I think Derek Lively is going to take a step forward. Daniel Gafford, solid pick. I do think losing Derek Jones Jr. was a pretty big loss.
That's correct.
And then Josh Green, Tim Hardaway, big losses, but I think they'll make up for it. Markieff Morris and Brandon Williams are decent pickups, but to me, it all comes down to coaching for them. They will win this division. In my opinion, they will win this division. They will make the playoffs, and they will hit over the 49.5. But when it comes to playoff time, I don't see many weaknesses on this team. I don't trust. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I just don't trust Jason Kidd so far with what I've seen from him as a coach. So
really,
no, he's good.
He just got them to the.
I know, but it just I don't know if they were just completely outmatched or what the case. It didn't seem like they made too many adjustments.
They ran into arguably the best team in the last 20 years.
You think so?
They were number 1 and 2 in offense and defense.
Yeah, but the Chargers have done that a bunch of times and never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they didn't even make the playoffs. That's why we don't talk about them as one of the best teams. But there's what the Boston Celtics did last year, there's only 4 other teams that have done the same thing. 2 of them were Warriors teams.
Nice. Well, I mean, that's good for them. And like I said, to your point, they ran up against the buzzsaw that was the Celtics.
Inevitable 7 years later. I've been hearing about Boston's inevitable championship for 7 years.
I want to see a coach that's going to push those buttons on Luka to make him complete his game a little bit more.
He got to the playoffs and had Luka completely change the way he played. Luka stopped being ball dominant. That's how Dallas went on that run.
I'm talking more on the other end.
He's never going to play defense, dog.
He was such a liability in those finals against the Celtics.
He was also hurt.
Everybody's hurt at the end of an 82-game season.
Not just recently hurt in 2 different series where he comes down criminally wrong. That's the same thing that happened to Jimmy Butler. We haven't had a healthy NBA final stars. That's why those teams keep getting blown out.
But Klay Thompson will be a good addition. I do see some. I think those boys up front will make some advancements in their game, and Luka's Luka.
How many games did they win last year?
Oh, I don't even actually have that pulled up.
I have it up.
Okay. Let me guess. They won.
That was the intent, yeah.
52.
No, 50.
50.
So where are you going with the 49.5?
I got over on that.
You got over?
Yeah.
On 49.5?
Yeah, I think they're gonna win 55.
55?
Yeah, and they won't be the 1 seed either.
They're going to win 55 games and not be the 1 seed.
Yeah.
You realize how hard it is to win 60 games in the NBA.
Yeah, I don't think everybody's going to win 60. I just think somebody's going to win a few more than 55.
Yeah, I got the underdog.
All right, man.
They're going to have injuries. Can't count on Klay Thompson.
You can't count on Klay Thompson?
No, dude. Nah.
What else you got on them?
This will be interesting to see a full season of PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. And my favorite thing to see about trade deadline acquisitions is were they fool's gold, right? Very much in the line with Rui Hachimura with the Lakers, right? Where he came in, he was guarding Jokic. They did all these clever things on defense and offense, and he gave him this big boon. The very next year, everyone's Rui Hachimura is a bum. We got to trade him. I can't believe he's on the Lakers. Blah, 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 blah. That's because fans are fucking toxic. So I'm interested to see if Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington are very much the same. I'm interested to see if Derek Lively takes another leap. But the Mavericks were red hot to close out the season last year. I mean, their last 10 of the regular season, they went 7-3, and it was basically like that for since the All-Star break. I don't know if they can keep that pace up for an entire season to get to 55. 50 wins is already a fuck ton. I think this division got significantly better. Pelicans, TBD to see what happens with Brandon Ingram, but you might even see another in-season trade with Brandon Ingram. The Rockets fixed their logjam at guard. I mean, not really. They still have a fuck ton of guards. And then they drafted Reed Shepherd, so let me take that back. But Alperen Sengun will be back. Jalen Green seemed to bud into a superstar. In my opinion, and it's crazy because they just paid that man, but Fred VanVleet should be a name that they look to trade. I don't know what they can get in return, but maybe a Fred VanVleet goes to another team. Brandon Ingram comes in to play the wing for this team, like small forward. But to free up those minutes for all the guards that they continue to stockpile. Yeah, so I'm nervous to even try to take over 49.5. I'm going to go under 49.
All right.
Yes to make the playoffs, no to win the division.
All right. So last year's fourth place finisher is predicted to finish second this year, the Memphis Grizzlies. Their NBA Finals odds are plus 4,000. To win their division is plus 260. To make the playoffs is minus 225. To miss it is plus 180. Their over-under is 47.5.
Yeah, so some of the departures. Give me 1 second.
What's up?
I was going through some of the departures, but I have too many tabs open. Luke Kennard returned on a deal. They added Mamadi Diakite from the Nets. Scottie Pippen Jr. signed a deal, and they lost Utah Wannabe and Zaire Williams. This is NBA.com. And this is still incomplete. Didn't they make a trade? Didn't they trade Steven Adams?
I thought they did.
Was that done at the trade deadline last year? And that's why that's why it's not showing up here. Either way. They drafted Zach Edey to play center, which was a position of weakness when Steven Adams and Brandon Clark went down. Pairing him next to Jaren Jackson Jr. Have no clue if he's actually going to start. But Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, Ja Morant, the development of Gigi Jackson, Santi Aldama. Man, there was another player on this. I think they had to trade him to free up cap space, though. This Memphis team's a good squad. The coach gets the best out of them. And when Ja Morant's healthy, they are incredibly feisty. So I'll take excuse me. I'll take over 47.5. Oof, that's tough. It's tough. You know what? Give me under 47.5. Yes, to make the playoffs. And no on the division winner.
Okay.
Well, so are we picking? I think we do this every year for the NBA. Are we picking 10 or are we picking 8?
10.
10.
10.
All
yeah,
right,
because we got to count the play.
Bet.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I got them under the 47.5. I do think they'll make the playoffs. I think they finish third in this division. They don't win the division. We'll just see what level Ja comes back to, and that team's going to go as he goes. They have Jaren Jackson, Brandon Clark, Desmond Bane. I think Desmond Bane might have been their leading scorer last year, if I'm not mistaken. Was he?
Yeah, he was. It's not a big leap. Everyone else was gone.
Yeah,
Dog, he was the last starter standing.
But,
dog.
It's cool that
I'm
you
pretty
have a
sure.
guy like that, on a night when Ja's struggling, you have a guy that can go out and get you 28, 27,
I'm pretty sure Jerry Jackson Jr. even missed some time there at the end.
Yeah. It was a rough year for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah,
that fourth place finish says something to them, given how many injuries they actually had. And honestly, I think the biggest thing is going to be if Edey can fill that Adams role. I don't think he can, but we'll see.
You don't think Edey can? Yeah,
Jaren
Jackson only played 66 last year.
I mean, I'll root for the guy because he's just a good kid who hoops, but I just don't.
Dude, Steven Adams didn't do anything special. I think Zach Edey, 2-time Naismith College basketball player
Zach
of the year.
Edey, that grown man that.
Literally.
Literally. If he is, I'm rooting. Is he Australian as well?
Have you seen? He is.
He looks something.
He is something. Way to go out on a leap there, huh? Let's see, Zach Edey. Nope, he's not Australian.
Oh.
Is he? He is not. Well, I'm only looking at players that were in the Olympics, and he's not on the list right now.
Oh, okay.
He's probably just American, to be honest. Boy, I've seen him dunk on people in preseason. Yes, it's preseason, but I'm hoping for good things for him. And what's crazy is he's one of my favorites to win Rookie of the Year because his class is so bonkers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll talk about my guy here in a little bit.
I don't know if Reed Shepard's gonna get the.
That was my guy.
I already mentioned his name, Eric. We're in the division. Why would go on a limb to whatever? I think he's the favorite right now. Just stay out on that limb, Eric.
I'll roll with the masses. They know what's up.
Dude, it's fade the public, dog. What are you talking about?
All
right, let's get into the very next team.
All right, so last year's second place finishing team, New Orleans Pelicans, are predicted to finish third in this division. NBA Finals odds plus 5,500. To win the Southwest, plus 380. To make the playoffs, minus 170. To miss the playoffs, plus 140. Their over-under is 46.5.
New Orleans Pelicans, they re-signed Jose Alvarado, the Puerto Rican superstar, to a 2-year extension. They added Jamal Cain, Javonte Green on a 1-year deal. Great pickup. They traded for DeJounte Murray, and they brought in Daniel Theis. As part of that DeJounte trade, they sent out Dyson Daniels and EJ Liddell, Larry Nance Jr., and Cody Zeller. They also traded he just left in free agency. Jonas Valanciunas joined the Wizards, and Najee Marshall joined the Mavs. Did you already give us the odds?
Yeah, sorry. I already gave us the odds.
Okay, so why'd you apologize?
No, that's just interesting. Did you know that Zion Williamson is the only player from the 2019 lottery that has not appeared in the playoff game yet?
So all 14 picks have been in the lottery already?
Yeah, all 14 lottery picks have been in the playoffs already.
So they're not counting the play-ins then?
No, that's funny because he played the most games he's ever played in a year last year at 70, and he was doing great until the play-in tournament where he got hurt. And
yeah, he hurt his hamstring.
Yeah, so he missed that. God bless.
No, he played. He won the first.
Yeah,
actually, no. He was dominating the Lakers in the first play-in, hurt his hamstring. So they made a run, tied the game on the bucket that Zion tied the game on. He hurt his hamstring. He had to leave the game. He exited throwing his towel as he passed the bench, and the Lakers were able to win the game because the Pelicans just couldn't. They didn't have Zion to do what Zion was doing and lead them to that come from behind win.
Yeah.
So I have the over for the New Orleans Pelicans. Yes, to make the playoffs. Yes, to win the division. Sprinkle a little money on them to win it all, and Zion for MVP.
Nice.
This is it. This is the year that we've been waiting for from Zion Williamson. They've cleared up the center position. They put shooters all around him. DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram. Granted, BI can't stay there for monetary reasons. But this Pelicans team is officially all in on the Zion Williamson Pelicans.
Yep.
And there's nothing more exciting. They're playing Herb Jones, my guy, at center. He's only 6'7". They got Trey Murphy III, who should be starting, but because Brandon Ingram is still that dude, no, we can't disrespect him like that. Daniel Theis is a great small ball center that they could rotate in. He can hit corner threes for them. He big time rebounds, plays mean defense. I'm high on this Pelicans team. The only thing that can hold them back is, the Brandon Ingram trade saga and Willie Green. Not completely sold on Willie Green as a head coach. He's finally gotten Zion to rise up to form, so maybe I'm a little more confident. But TBD. What thoughts?
So I was torn between Dallas and them. I ended up picking Dallas to win the division. I do have them hitting the over, making the playoffs and finishing second in this division. I was torn. I just a little bit of bias towards Luka. But when you look at this Pelicans team, man, Murray, Zion, Ingram, Murphy, Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado, McCollum, like I know he's a little old. All those other guys are kind of young and good, but McCollum's still dope.
McCollum's only 33, dog.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but he's also, he's been around the block a few times. And realistically, the only thing that I would worry about for them is not really regular season an issue. I think they'll be fine through the regular season, probably push close to 50 wins. But I know people are going to talk about the Warriors after I say this comment, but don't forget the Warriors had a badass dude playing center, getting rebounds and doing his job. And that's what, to me, with them in the playoffs, small ball against some of these clubs that have guys that can work you into paint and put in work, how is that going to stack up against them? I'm not saying they'll lose. I'm not saying it's going to hurt them. I'm saying I'm curious to see how it plays out. Just given even the Warriors had Looney, Kevon Looney, Andrew Bogut. They always had somebody there who was kind of an anchor, rebounds, defense, high IQ. You know what I mean?
Nah, don't need him. You got Zion. Zion to the moon, dog.
I bet. My points are invalid. Let's go on to the next one.
Herb Jones. Oh, Jordan Hawkins is on that squad.
From
Connecticut?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. No, the center thing is valid. They still need to get a center, but that's probably what they'll do with Brandon Ingram. Crazy trade idea. What if they go get DeAndre Ayton? Just kidding. Robert Williams III, Time Lord?
No.
Why not?
Injury prone.
So what? Everyone's injury prone, so they're not.
True. Right. Moving into last year's third place finishing team, the Houston Rockets. With all the advancements the teams ahead of them made, they're projected to finish fourth. Finals odds plus 15,000 to win this division, plus 800. To make the playoffs is plus money at 120. To miss it, minus 145. They're over under set at 43.5. 43 wins. God dang.
Bro, this division's really fucking good.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you think of this squad, man. In Ime, we trust. I'll take the over. But before we get into that, they didn't do much by way of transactions this summer. They kind of stand pat. They re-signed Aaron Holiday because I think they didn't have enough guards. And then they brought Nate Williams in on a deal. They ended up trading for AJ Griffin from the Hawks. I believe they got a second in the deal to take on that contract. And then AJ Griffin retired to go be a missionary somewhere. I don't remember where. So he no longer wanted to hoop. I don't blame him. Go do what you actually want to do. So looking at the squad, we have Oh man, Herbert Jones. I was like, Herb Jones. Elf. Oh, this is the Pelicans roster. That's why, dude. I was like, what the hell? Aaron Holiday, Amen Thompson, Jock Landale, who they brought in from Phoenix, Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet, Cam Whitmore, Jayshawn Tate, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr., Steven Adams, Reed Shepard, Tyree Eason, Alperen Sengun, and old man Jeff Green. Bro, they got a roster, dog. I should have picked them to win the division.
Do you think it's a little telling that Green and Sengun haven't gotten extensions?
Jalen Green and Sengun?
Yeah, they're on the final years. A lot of their classmates have gotten their extensions. These two have not. And I'm asking because we have a lot of love for Sengun, but it doesn't seem like the Rockets do or something. I don't know.
He is fantastic. I love Alperen Sengun. I've been talking about him for since he was a rookie. He was actually drafted by OKC and traded to Houston. But Alperen Sengun is kind of a liability on defense, and I don't know how he fits into the Ime Udoka scheme from that perspective. Jalen Green had a rough first 3.5 months and great last 2.5 months to the NBA season last year. So the jury's still out on what they're exactly going to get out of Jalen Green. Did what we see from him post All-Star break last year, is that what we should expect from Jalen Green going forward? Because if so, then he's about to be really, really fantastic. They have a lot of log jams for minutes all over the place, and I don't know necessarily how they're going to navigate that. I don't even know. Like, who, if you had to pick their starting lineup today, who's the starting lineup?
Hold on. It depends. Like, does Ime comfortable rolling small ball or?
I don't know. Ime is he's a defensive coach, but he played Alperen Sengun at center, who's 6'11". I said 6'11", like he's short.
Well, I mean, I think Jalen Green has started the 2. Who's your point, Fred? You start Fred at 30?
Yeah, you paid him 40-something million. You better be starting that goddamn man.
Yeah, 42 million. So you go Fred, you go Jalen. I would go Amen Thompson.
Amen, huh?
Tari Eason. Oh, I forgot to have Dylan Brooks.
Tari Eason and Amen are the starters?
Yeah, dude. Run the young guys out there, dude.
What are we doing,
dude?
Dylan
Brooks and damn.
I'm going to help you out here. How about the number 3 pick in the 2022 draft, Eric?
Reed?
2022, not your pick for rookie of the year this year, big fella.
I don't remember who that was. Is that
Jabari Smith Jr., my guy?
Yeah, we'll see.
What do you mean we'll see?
I get what you're saying about the logjam now, though. Like, there is a bunch of players that could are starter fringe.
This is why I didn't understand the Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks signings. But they ended up changing the culture for the better. I mean, they won, 41 games last year? 41, yeah, 41. They were 500. I mean, granted, it took a red-hot end to the season for them to put it all together, but still did. This is what I'm saying. I don't know who starts. I don't know who sits. I think Steven Adams is a humble enough guy that you don't necessarily need to start him. So Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr., Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet, and Jalen Green. I think that's the 5 they rolled out last year that struggled at the beginning of the year. So, man, this team is a freaking question mark. In Ime, we trust. I'll take – they're going to win 42 games. Give me the under.
All right. Playoffs?
Let me go look at the whole picture here. So, I'm thinking Minnesota, Denver, Oklahoma.
You have –
Phoenix ain't missing. Los Angeles ain't missing. Sacramento and Golden State.
You have 6. You got to pick 4 more with the Pacific up there.
I have 6 already? Who did I pick from the other division?
Dallas. Oh, from the other division, you picked Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and Denver.
All right, so chalk.
But I mean,
ball. So yeah, for a reason. Yeah. Oh man, I abstain from picking now. I'll decide if I'm putting Houston in, but I don't think they make it, dude.
Okay.
Looking at this.
All right.
Hold on, 3, because I have to pick 3 from this division, right? And I already did pick 3.
Yeah. I mean, you could pick 4, put yourself at 7, and only pick 3 from the Pacific.
Oh, dude, I really like what Golden State did, man. Fuck. Are the Lakers better? Sacramento is going to suck again? I doubt it.
They got DeMar DeRozan. It's a hard division.
Holy fuck, dude. This is what the Western Conference is just bonkers. Sorry, Houston, you didn't make the cut. I don't like the logjam. I don't like the way your roster fits together. A lot of talent all over top to bottom, and I do like Ime Udoka as a coach, but I'm going to go ahead and send you to the lottery. What a fucking bummer.
All right.
What a bummer.
All right.
I almost picked them to win this division. Now they're not even making the playoffs. This division's bonkers.
I had to rock with my boys. I picked over, yes, to make the playoffs. I do think they finished 4th in this division, but I think they'll be a playing team.
The problem is like I'm looking at this. It's like, look, Phoenix may not be that great, but they won 49 games last year, and they still got 3 motherfucking dogs. Like
2.5.
they'll make the play-in. You know what I mean? Like LeBron and AD ain't missing the play-in. They live in the play-in.
Well, to put it in
3 of the last 4 years they've been in the play-in.
People, 4 of the 5 teams in the Pacific have negative or minus odds to make the playoffs. They expect 4 teams to make it out of this division.
Yeah, and Sacramento and Golden State. I mean, you could see Sacramento has some wonky fits. I don't like their 3-point shooting. I don't like their center position. I just don't think Sabonis is a center. I think he's a power forward. Golden State, I love what they did, dude. They got Buddy Hield for fucking free. Running around in Steve Kerr's offense. Second year, Brandon Podziemski. Drafted him in my fantasy league last year. Or actually, I think I picked him up. But Santa Clara stud, bro. Kuminga, now he's a starter. And got to fight with nobody. Get fucked, Klay Thompson. That division's bonkers, too. All right, I'm going to have to abstain from the Rockets as much as I like that squad.
All right. And rounding out the Southwest is going to be the San Antonio Spurs. They finished 5th last year, projected to finish 5th again this year. Plus 15,000 for the NBA Finals, plus 2,800 to win the Southwest. To make the playoffs is plus 380. To miss the playoffs is minus 525. They won 23 last year. Their projected over-under this year is 36.5.
This is the team that could change everything. I really do believe that. Because, I mean, if we get Wemby playing 32, 34 minutes a game, what's the opponent's shooting percentage going to be, dog? Love the draft pick of Stephen Castle. Oh, first of all, I'm doing it again. I'm just getting too excited here. They re-signed Charles Bassey and Sandro Mamukashvili. Yeah, I tried, guys. They added Harrison Barnes via trade with the Kings. So they brought in picks and ate that salary, and then they brought in Chris Paul on a 1-year deal. They lost Dominic Barlow in free agency to the Hawks, and Devontae Graham was traded to the Hornets. And he wasn't on the Hornets anymore. He's a free agent, I think. So, like I said, Stephon Castle was the number 4 pick in this year's draft. Super high on him. They had the number 8 pick, drafted somebody and traded him for 2 firsts. So I don't necessarily knock the hustle, but I was just like, I thought we're trying to put talent around my boy. My thing is like, is San Antonio secretly trying to get Cooper Flag?
Nobody wants that.
I mean, I kind of want that.
I mean, everybody would love to see that. If the hoop heads would be like, oh, shit.
That'd be amazing. I don't think they're bad enough to get it. I'm looking at you, Wizards. But yeah, Keldon Johnson, Victor Wembanyama, Chris Paul, Jeremy Sochan. You know I got love for him. SDSU kid Malachi Flynn hasn't really developed into anything. Malachi Branham, another kid out of Ohio State. Devin Vassell. Man, this is just not a good team. Harrison Barnes.
It's not. Well, I do think one smart thing they did, and I think it's the only reason he's there, is not the only reason he's there, but
it's a great bringing in Chris Paul.
But to mentor Stephon Castle.
No, not.
And then also to take Pop's place when he retires.
I mean, that's a better theory than what you were working with. No, dude, they brought him in for Victor. They brought him in to have a point guard to pass Victor the Rock because nobody could get Victor the Rock last year, dog.
Also, how sick is it that you have a really good point guard in Stephon Castle and one of the greatest point guards of all time to mentor him?
Stephon Castle's sick. He's going to be a sleeper for Rookie of the Year. I know everyone's a goddamn sleeper in my book if you're listening to me. Yeah. That's only 2 players, guys. Relax. But I love him. 6'6" and plays point guard, and he plays point guard like Chris Paul, which is why Chris Paul is there. Man, I really wish they would have kept Rob Dillingham to slot him next to Stephon Castle, but I don't know. He would have been a defensive liability, and Pop already lost all his hair because of Tony Parker. Couldn't do that again. So, man, this is a bad ball club. Give me the under. No to make the playoffs, and obviously no for the rest.
Word. Also, Pop is 76 years old.
Yeah, but his wife passed away. He's going to coach forever, dude.
Until he's 86?
Yeah, bro. He ain't got nothing at home no more.
Yeah, I got him finishing 5th. No on the playoffs, under the 36.5. They're not jumping from 23 to 37. It ain't happening.
22.
It was 22?
They won 22 last.
Oh, yeah, okay. So they're not jumping from 22 to 37. I'll go under, no, 5th. I have Dallas, New Orleans, Memphis, Houston, San Antonio for my order. What do you got?
I got New Orleans, Memphis, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio.
Perfect. Nice.
Come at me, Dallas. Prove me wrong, Luka. Stop showing up out of shape, Luka.
So you have New Orleans winning it. I have Dallas winning it. For me, it was a toss-up between New Orleans and Dallas. Between Memphis and Dallas, who do you have? Who has in your mind has a better chance at winning the division? If it is not the New Orleans Pelicans.
Memphis.
Okay.
I think Memphis and New Orleans are built for regular season ball. Mm-hmm. I think Kyrie and Luka understand that it doesn't fucking matter if they have home court. Mm-hmm. They're all about just making the playoffs. And that's the kind of veteran stuff. Look, if Luka comes out and plays defense this year, then I'll happily switch my pick to them getting it. But like, I'm just not confident with the overall growth of the other 4 teams in this division that they'll get to 50 wins, let alone win the division. I think this is going to be as close as Oklahoma City, Denver, and Minnesota was last year. I really do. That's why I almost took Memphis over 47.5. Which would have put them right there with Dallas, but I'm pretty sure I took the top 2 under.
Yeah, you did.
Because I think this is going to be a really hotly contested division. As we discussed, the rest of the Western Conference is just absolutely bonkers. And if you have one bad Eastern Conference road trip, you're putting yourself in the 6 through 10 position. So, and the Mavericks are built to do that. Anything else from this division before we move into the Central?
I would say the only thing I'll say is I can see the Rockets being sellers if they are underperforming come close to that time.
Well, they have to.
Yeah.
Because they got people to pay.
I say don't be surprised if we see Houston sell off a bunch of people.
Fred VanVleet, where's he going?
Man, that's tough. I'm going to say I really don't know, man. That's tough.
Miami.
I mean, that'd be cool. Like, he would fit in. He'd fit in.
The Lakers.
See, that was my obvious choice, but we always people just default.
Well, it's because they need a point guard.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would like to say the Lakers.
It's because they need a point guard. You know, it'd be an interesting team, the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, he'd help them.
To upgrade that point guard position like that, that'd be filthy. I'm trying to think. There's not any real obvious candidates besides.
I think he would fit in with Phoenix if they could move Beal somehow, but I think he'd be on the no trade, right?
Shit. I think Beal's the last player who has a no trade clause.
Yeah.
I think LeBron lost
but I think Brad Veet would fit them much better. Pass first, can be a pass first guy and hit a big shot if he needs.
Oh, dude, of course. Bradley Beal, no disrespect, is a hooper. I just didn't look, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant are all cerebral. They can get their own. I don't think Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and KD are the same.
No.
You know what I mean? And James Harden sacrificed a ton, but he's a little bitch. So
yeah.
let's get into the Central
Division. All right.
Give us the order.
So last year, the Milwaukee Bucks finished first. The Cleveland Cavaliers finished second. The Indiana Pacers finished third. The Chicago Bulls finished fourth, and the Detroit Pistons finished fifth. A little foreshadowing here: they're all projected to finish the same by DraftKings.
What do you mean they're all projected to finish the same?
The
same order.
That exact same order, yeah. Yeah.
I thought you meant they all have the same win-loss. I was like, that's wild.
No. They're all projected to finish in this order again.
Just like they fucking phoned it in like that. They didn't even try to make odds for this division.
Yeah.
They didn't re-sign anybody. The additions, they brought in Taurean Prince, Gary Trent Jr., and DeLon Wright on one-year deals. Sneaky pickups for the three of them. Gary Trent Jr., replacing Malik Beasley, who left to the Pistons, and then Patrick Beverly agreed to a deal with Hopel Tel Aviv. Good riddance. That guy was just last year. He was insufferable.
He's become insufferable.
Yeah, dude, his little rants at the end. I was like, dude, you got to go, man. You got to go. Looking at their team, it's old, it's unathletic, and they don't shoot the best. That's a real bad combo. Unless you're the Golden State Warriors with Steph and Clay, because they won all kinds of shit with them. Damian Lillard, Bobby Portis, Brooke Lopez, Taurean Prince. AJ Green, not the one who caught passes from Andy Dalton. Chris Middleton, Pat Connaughton, Gary Trent Jr., Giannis Antetokounmpo, Andre Jackson Jr. out of UConn, and DeLon Wright. Everyone's older. Is Budenholzer still the coach? Oh, no, it's Doc Rivers. That's right. Oh, my fucking God. Phoenix. Doc Rivers. Man, give us your thoughts on this team.
So for the Milwaukee Bucks, let me give you so Milwaukee Bucks predicted to finish first. Finals odds plus 1,300 to win the division minus 145. To make the playoffs minus 3,000 to miss it plus 1,300. Their over-under is 50.5. For the Bucks, I'm taking the under. They will make the playoffs. I don't have them winning this division. Thoughts on them? Like you said, older. Not exactly surrounding the guy who needs shooters around him with shooters. And then with the loss of Beasley, Pat Beverly, and this might be just because my roster knowledge isn't as deep as you, but like, who's going to cover for Dame's defensive lack of defense?
What do you want me to do? I can't coach them boys up.
But you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, it's the same question we had. Taurean Prince Jr. is a great defensive player.
Yeah. Right?
Gary Trent Jr. is a better defensive player than people think. I didn't realize Gary Trent Jr. what's a dude. I hate that guy now. Just kidding. Pat Connaughton, can he get back to form? He's another year older.
Yeah.
But he plays defense, so look, dude, it's got to come down to Dame wanting it on that end. That's all it is. If Dame buys in on that end, which he's never done, which he's probably not going to do again this year, definitely not at 34. Because
I will say this, and I have 5 years of proof of this, Doc Rivers isn't the guy that's going to coach your players up on that side of the ball. He ain't going to do it. He ain't going to get more out of them from that side of the ball than some other coaches Frank Vogel will really get you going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eric Spoelstra will make you look like an all-pro NBA player when you should be working at KFC. Like, those coaches, they coach you up. I don't see Doc doing that to these guys.
Yeah. The only way this happens is if Damian Lillard comes out and he drops 33 a night. If him and Giannis are going for 70 basically every night, then Milwaukee is about to shit on some people, but I don't see it. I don't see it. So I got under 50.5. That's a wild line. I know it's still Giannis and Dame, but I mean the news that came out today was damn. Why is it turning off? I'm trying to watch Lonzo. The only way it works is if those two buy in. But Giannis was already saying, like, hey, if we don't win it all this year, I could be traded in the offseason.
Yeah.
That's a bonkers headline to just casually say. Like, what is Giannis fucking
motivating his guys, dude?
Yeah, okay. That's real motivational. That's real motivational. They need to get out of Chris Middleton, dog. Or Chris Middleton just comes back to form. Those are the two options.
So get out of Chris Middleton.
If Chris Middleton comes back to form, then fire. How about we just do a 4-way trade? Fred VanVleet to Phoenix, Bradley Beal to Milwaukee, Chris Middleton to New Orleans, and Brandon Ingram to Houston. There, fixed all the problems.
There it is.
But yeah, I'm out on this team. They'll make the playoffs. They're too talented to not do it. Doc Rivers is a good coach, despite what everyone wants to say. Right. But they're not winning anything else. They're definitely not winning this division.
Cool. So last year's second place team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, are predicted to finish second again, plus 6,000 for the NBA Finals, plus 250 to win this division, minus 900 to make the playoffs, plus 600 to miss the playoffs. 48.5 is their win total.
Damn, Drake May went to get an MRI.
Did he really?
Talk about doubling down in just the craziest sense all across the board. Just look at this. Look at this. Jared Allen agrees to 3-year extension. Isaac Okoro agrees to 3-year deal. Donovan Mitchell agrees to 3-year extension. Evelyn Mobley agrees to 5-year extension. Tristan Thompson's back on a 1-year deal. That's not the problem. That's a good player to have in your locker room. And then JT Thor, we're still trying to make JT Thor happen. God damn. That's bonkers. Give up already. Like, look, I get he's 6'9". He ain't turning into nothing. It's Kevin Knox all over again, dog. Total squad, they had Max Strus, Ty Jerome, Karis LeVert, Evan Mobley, Sam Merrill, Craig Porter Jr., Tristan Thompson, Darius Garland, Georges Niang, Imani Bates, solid second-round pick last year. Crazy that he was number 49. Jared Allen, Dean Wade, Isaac Okoro, and Donovan Mitchell. Thoughts?
I mean, they were second last year in the East. Running back the same roster. I like Kenny Atkinson as coach. I think.
What did you just say out loud?
What?
Did you say they were second in the East last year?
Second in this division last year.
Oh, you said the East.
Did I? My bad. Second in this division.
I was just like, no, they were not.
Yeah, no. Second in this division last year. Like I said, I like Kenny Atkinson. Here's where I think it all comes down to for the Cleveland Cavaliers. What offense is Evan Mobley going to bring to the table?
How many years have we been asking that?
Because if
that's
he
your guy, dude.
Bring any offense to the table, they're going to do the exact same thing they always do. They'll be a hot regular season team. They'll probably push for like 49, 48 wins.
Flex cam, baby.
Make the playoffs and bounce in the first round. But for me, so for the Cavs, I have them under. I do have them make the playoffs, and I have them finishing third in this division.
Yeah, I have Milwaukee finishing third, dude. Cleveland will finish second. I'm taking the under. 48.5 is just that's what they did last year, and I think with a healthy Pacers team, they're not going to get there.
Yeah.
Looking at the rest of the conference, I mean, Brooklyn, Toronto, trash. Chicago, always trash. Detroit, trash. Charlotte, Washington. Atlanta, I mean, what the fuck is Atlanta? Are they good?
Nobody knows.
Dude, you already mentioned it. Kenny Atkinson, pretty great offensive coach. I mean, look what he did with the Brooklyn Nets when he made D'Angelo Russell an all-star and then got him that contract that everybody hates since then because he keeps getting traded around because he's not worth it. But he had that Nets team in the playoffs. Had D'Angelo Russell as a all-star, had them balling.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you're hoping for. I've watched Donovan Mitchell on this team for 2 years, and I'm not a Donovan Mitchell believer by any means. I think he's a phenomenal ball player. As far as on a roster, being the dude, elevating other people, I don't see it. He can get his, and he's very elite at getting his. But the rest of the roster never takes a leap around him. They looked awful. They look awful whenever him and Darius Garland are playing next to each other. They look awful. They just can't figure it out. And if Donovan Mitchell is as good as he says he is, then it's time to quit playing games and figure it out. Like, that's it. That's it. Evan Mobley, what number were you in the draft, Evan? 4. Number 3.
He was 3?
Number 3 in 2021.
Oh, I thought he was 4.
Time to fucking show us you got Evan Mobley. And if not, this is another team that's a candidate for trading motherfuckers away.
Yeah.
A lot of big contracts out there on the books that these teams can all flip around to hopefully reshuffle some shit. But
sick and tired of defending that dude.
What dude?
Evan Mobley.
Yeah, that was your guy, dude. You hitched your wagon to him and you're like, fuck it, I'm going down.
Because look, this is what I've always been a firm believer that you can't really teach defense. A few guys will come around and they'll get it. But that's something you come into the league with. You can get better at defense, but you're not just a shitty defender and then all of a sudden you turn into a good defender. Like, you're already a good defender and then you get better because it's a part of your game. So I thought he had that come down and he was going to come in and learn some offense as Lonzo Ball hits the 3.
Let's go! Splash that big fella! Woo! It's going to be a fun season. We going to be shitty, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah. We've seen guys develop offensive games and he just hasn't. So, sick of him.
I disagree with the defensive thing.
You think people can be top defense?
1,000%. We see it all the time. Defense is all about effort. Defense is not a skill. Elite defense is a skill. Like Matisse Thybulle and Ben Simmons and Marcus Smart, those lockdown defenders, Alex Caruso. Like those guys, that's a skill. Effort is all you need to be good at defense. That's all it is, effort. You just got to try harder than the other guy.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. And it's embarrassing when they don't try. You get paid millions of dollars. No, I agree. Damian Lillard, we just talked about.
You're not putting your hand in passing lanes. You're not, switching. You're not calling shit out. Defense as a whole, holistically, it takes a lot.
I'm not saying that your point was wrong. I'm just saying I was disagreeing with you can't teach someone to be better at defense. You absolutely can. Tom Thibodeau does it all the time.
Yeah. He wears his players.
But Evan Mobley, as your point is valid. Like he came out, he was a defensive juggernaut, still very good, even though they got punked in the playoffs. Yeah. But my goodness, dog, do you shoot jump shots? Do you practice that at all? Like, what are we doing? Get a little baby hook, something. Do something. Give me the under. Yes, to make the playoffs. This is too talented a team. They won't miss it. Donovan Mitchell doesn't miss the playoffs either. Dude, honestly, jury's still out. Is Kenny Atkinson the guy? I didn't like the hire. But we'll see. Jamari Carroll's on the bench, dude.
Yeah, we'll see. So last year's third place team also projected to finish third again this year, the Indianapolis Pacers. Finals odds plus 6,000 to win the division plus 390. To make the playoffs minus 600, to miss the playoffs plus 425. Their win total set at 46.5. Yeah,
from a team that was always talking about trading away players, they certainly have put it together with a couple of the moves they made. I respect the Indiana Pacers organization in the front office. They always seem to field very competitive teams. They always draft and develop really well.
Yeah.
Super necessary due to the market that they play in. But
ball movement.
What? Anyways, sorry, the Bulls are playing, so I'm distracted. But did James Johnson return on a 1-year deal? I just pictured him hitting someone in the face. TJ McConnell signed a 4-year extension. Honestly, if I'm not mistaken, it's 4 years, $56 million or something. What a fucking bargain, especially as this cap keeps going up. Your backup point guard that brings the hustle like that. Andrew Nemhard outperformed his rookie contract, got a 3-year extension. Pascal Siakam was traded for midseason last year, maybe a little earlier than midseason. Signed a 4-year deal, and then Obi Toppin, who was traded for from the Knicks as well, also signed a 4-year deal. They added James Wiseman on a 2-year deal. That's just center depth. It's not really going to matter. Jalen Smith, stretch center, stretch forward, departed free agency for the Chicago Bulls. Thoughts on the team, Eric? Well, I can hold on. Let me go walk through the roster for you real quick. Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, that's my boy. Obi Toppin, Andrew Nemhard, Tristan Newton, Jerace Walker, TJ McConnell, Johnny Furphy, who they drafted this year. James Wiseman, James Johnson, Cole Swider, Isaiah Jackson, Aaron Nesmith, Ben Shep. They got to cut people, dude. God damn. Miles Turner, Pascal. They got talent. God damn. As evidence, we're both about to pick them to win the division. So go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, so this team, I think, like Jermaine said, I do have them winning the division. They're going to be fast. They're going to score a shit ton of points, and they're going to give up a shit ton of points. So, yes, I do have them winning the division, making the playoffs, and I do think they'll hit the over 46.5. Just a lot of bad teams out in the East. Not a lot. There's a good amount of bad teams out in the East.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad teams out in the East. And honestly, this team shoots the ball well, and they score points. Like, you cannot take that away from them, but they are going to give a lot of points. I think that'll bring them regular season success, which is why I have them winning the division, but I don't think it's going to bring them more playoff success than they had last year. Last year was an anomaly. They shouldn't have gone as far as they got.
We have to pick 10 teams.
But I'm also springing a little money on them to win the championship.
We have to pick 10 teams in the East.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
That's fucking unbelievable.
There's going to be 4 teams.
Unbelievable.
Minus 500.
What I think they should do, because we'll never get rid of conferences, I don't think. The top 6 from each conference, good to go. The play-in tournament is best 8. Best 8 remaining. So if it's 6 from the Western Conference, then 2 of those motherfuckers hop into the Eastern Conference bracket, dog. I think that'd be sick. You imagine? Yeah. You imagine the Lakers, Celtics, round 1?
That's the one downfall of the NBA playoffs is that we're forced to have teams that don't belong, and we're forced to watch teams that should be there picking in the lottery.
No, dude, they get it. For the most part, they get it right every year. Like, the teams that are in the play-in, you're never writing home like, I can't believe they missed the playoffs. Like, you're like, oh, I totally understand how this team didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They had XYZ bugaboo, and that's why they didn't make it. Yeah. Like, I won't go that far. The problem is like, when's the last time we got Celtics Lakers?
2010, 9?
Bro, for the betterment of the league, get rid of these conferences, bro.
I would love to see it too.
I mean, I don't know. It is sick when the Bulls go against the Knicks and stuff like that. But the Bulls are going to be bad forever, dude. It's just something that we're going to have to accept until the Reinsdorfs die. Yeah. Over. Yes, to make the playoffs. Division winner. And absolutely not. They're not winning the World Championship.
Yeah. I put a little money on it at plus 6,000.
Well, first of all, any of these teams at their current odds, yes, feel free, my guy.
I have zero faith that they'll win the championship.
Just, you need 1 or 2 injuries for your pick to look like a fucking brilliant.
I would need Boston to blow up, New York to go down, Philly to go down, Cleveland to go down, because all those teams are built better for the playoffs than they are. Indianapolis. Anyway, moving on to the 4th place team last year, the Chicago Bulls, projected to finish 4th again. Finals odds plus 100,000 to win the division plus 25,000 to make the playoffs plus 700 to miss the playoffs minus 1,200. They're over under set at 27.5.
27.5 for Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that feels low. Are they like factoring in that they're going to trade everyone? Splash! Let's go, Lonzo! I'm so hyped, dude. Fuck it, dude. I don't care. We can go 27.5 all year. I'm going to have a blast. Eric wants the Boston Celtics to go, what is it, Trans Asia Airways Flight 235.
That'd be nice. What was that Malaysia Airlines flight that just...
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, the one that disappeared?
It's in Taiwan.
Yeah.
I think there's 1 or 2. But Chicago... continues their perplexing front office moves by returning Patrick Williams on a 5-year deal. It hasn't proved anything yet, but sure, we'll pay him. They added Chris Duarte via trade with the Kings in a sign and trade for DeMar DeRozan. They added Josh Giddey via trade with Thunder. They shipped out Alex Caruso for him. They signed Jalen Smith to a 3-year deal. Sneaky little pickup. They lost Javonte Green to the Pelicans and Andre Drummond to the 76ers. And I already touched base on Alex Caruso and DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this team, Eric?
So a lot of turnover there. A lot of OGs got sent out. Just happy for Lonzo. First and foremost, let's get that out of the way. Happy to see him back on the court. He's the only sane person in that family. Hopefully, wish him a lot of success. As far as this goes, I do have them winning over 27.5. I think they'll be scrappy. They still have Vucevic. They still have Kobe White. They still have what's the kid from Illinois?
Illinois.
The University of Illinois. Point guard, super fast.
Kobe White?
The other guy.
Oh, Ayo
Dosunmu. They have Ayo Dosunmu. They're getting Lonzo back. I've read numerous articles where people said that Patrick Williams is just Kawhi Leonard's, but hasn't developed to that level yet, but can.
I've been saying it for years.
That one rookie that they drafted, the shooter, I know.
Matas Buzelis.
Yeah, I know you're going to go a lot more in depth than I am here, but I think it'll be fun. I think you're going to go over 27.5. I think they'll be a play-in team, and they'll finish 4th in this division.
No, we can't be a play-in team. We got to keep our first this year. We owe it to the Spurs. We got to finish bottom 10.
All right, so let me change. No, I'll pick them so that it doesn't happen.
Look, dude, Chicago sucks. I don't know if anyone watches preseason like me. I'm a degenerate though, so I'll watch just about any goddamn sport. Shout out to WNBA. Not anymore though. Fuck the WNBA. Kobe White, Lonzo Ball, Josh Giddey, Chris Duarte, Javon Carter. We brought in Taylor Horton Tucker just on prove it team deals. Zach LaVine, Vucevic, Dosunmu, Craig opted in. Bastard. Matas Buzelis, Julian Phillips, Adama Sanogo, Dalen Terry, Jalen Smith, loved the pickup from the Pacers. And then we had we brought in Kenneth Lofton Jr. from the Grizzlies. That's just a funny looking dude. I can't wait to see him run around with us. And then Patrick Williams. That's an awful defensive team, I just said.
Yeah.
And if they're not shooting well, which we're not exactly a team known for shooting. Like, we don't shoot the three very well. Vucevic decided to come to Chicago, forget how to shoot the three-point ball. Patrick Williams is pretty good, but he's a spot shooter, so you got to pass it to him. Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips basically going to get nothing out of that perspective. Dude, this is a bad team. And 27.5 is crazy. I did think that was a little low, but also, like, I hope we hit that. So, let me look at the rest of the East. I want to go look at these teams. Let's see. So, Wizards had 21.5. Hornets had 30.5. Pistons have 25.5. Raptors 29.5. The Nets 19.5. Damn. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to out tank some of these teams, dog.
Ooh, if you do get Cooper Flag, though.
Dog, if we hit some lottery luck, all it took was Derrick Rose retiring for us to return to the top of the charts. I think we trade Zach LaVine. I think we trade Nikola Vucevic. I don't know what we get for either one of them. Depending on that, is 27.5. If we don't trade them, we're easily smashing that. So let me just go with the information I have presently. I'll take the over 27.5. No to make. We have to pick 10. How many do I need, Derek?
So in the East, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far. So you need 4 more. And then we have Boston, New York, Philadelphia. So essentially, you have to pick.
I like the Raptors this year too.
One more team.
I think the Raptors will get the play in. So no, I'll put no on the playoffs for Chicago.
All right. So the shittiest team in this division last year, projected to be the shittiest team again this year, Detroit Pistons, plus 100,000 for the finals, plus 40,000 to win this division. To make the playoffs, plus 1,100. To miss the playoffs, minus 2,500. Their win total is 25.5.
Man, they did a lot of interesting things this offseason. Not sure how it's going to affect winning. But they went the Houston Rockets route of last year, where nobody understood what the fuck they were doing, and then they ended up winning 41 games. And I think the Detroit Pistons are about to do the same fucking thing. Cade Cunningham agreed to a 5-year extension. They returned Simone Fontecchio on a 2-year deal. They acquired him in a trade from the Utah Jazz last year at the trade deadline. They brought in Malik Beasley on a 1-year deal. They brought in Tim Hardaway Jr. to eat the contract for the Mavs. They also able to get some picks out of that. Tobias Harris joined them on a 2-year deal. Wendell Moore Jr. was traded to them from the Wolves, and they claimed B-Ball Paul off waivers. They lost Taj Gibson to the Hornets. They lost Quentin Grimes to the Mavs, and they lost James Wiseman to the Pacers. Let's walk through their complete roster, and then you can give us your thoughts. Jalen Duren at center. They have Ron Holland playing forward. Cade Cunningham, Malik Beasley, both at guard. Paul Reed, Tim Hardaway Jr., Asher Thompson, the better of the Thompson brothers. Tobias Harris. Excuse me. Damn, it's a lot of no names. Simone Fontecchio, Jaden Ivey, Marcus Sasser, Isaiah Stewart, and that's it. Thoughts?
This team sucks. I go under the 25.5. I think they only won like 19 games last year. I'll have to look that up, but
I got it right here.
I believe it was under 20.
14.
All right. So, yeah, under 25.5. They're not going to make the playoffs. They'll finish 5th. I think the whole goal this season is to see what you have, get a high lottery pick. 2025 draft class looks good. Keep the fans interested enough to hopefully get more interested in the guy you draft and have a better season next year. But I got no hope or faith in this team.
I think they finished better than the Bulls.
Woo! If the Bulls trade everybody, yeah, I agree. If they don't,
they added Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley. Those are all proven wings. And if these young kids can't get their head out of their ass, these are NBA ball players. That like all three of those guys can average 20
at home.
And they put them around Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren at center, who's a fantastic pick. I bet the Knicks are wishing they didn't trade his rights away on draft night. Ron Holland II is a fascinating number 5 pick. He was projected to be number 1 before he went to the G League Ignite and kind of floundered. NBA's attempt to circumvent NCAA college hoops failed miserably. I'm glad that they're wrapping that up. Because it hurt every single kid who went to the G League Ignite as much as I wanted it to succeed. Jaden Ivey probably gets traded. And this is my odds-on favorite team to trade for Zach LaVine, to pair him with Cade Cunningham. It'll be strange to see an division trade, but I think these Pistons are going to be a lot more feisty than people think. JB Bickerstaff's a pretty good coach. I know he didn't put it together in Cleveland. But this is a fascinating team. They got talent everywhere. They brought in a bunch of scorers, a bunch of like 3-point launchers. That's what they need around Cade Cunningham. And it's time for Cade to prove why he was the number 1 overall pick over Jalen Green. No expectations. That's the other thing that this team has going for him. So expecting a leap from Cade, expecting it from Jalen Duren. I think Ron Holland is going to have a chip on his shoulder since he went from 1 to 5. Usually see that from those kind of guys. Ron Holland, I could see him developing into kind of a Michael Porter Jr. type role, and putting him behind Tobias Harris is probably a pretty good pickup. I'll take over 25.5 and then no across the board.
Nice. So you have Indiana 1st, Cleveland 2nd, Milwaukee 3rd. You want Detroit 4th, Chicago 5th?
Oh, boy. No, we can't do that, dude. Can't do that. Not without knowing trades happen. If Zach LaVine gets traded tomorrow, then give it to me.
Sorry, excuse me, I got sneeze.
Splash on him, Jalen Johnson. I can't wait, dude. I'm gonna watch so much shitty Bulls basketball. I'm gonna be excited.
I'm probably gonna boycott this season.
Oh, shocker. Shocker.
All right, I think we're done with this this division.
You got any dark horses for awards?
From this division?
No, Eric, from another division.
Well, we'll talk about that when we
From either division that we just covered. Do you have any dark horses?
No, I don't. No. Pretty cut and dry here.
There's not a single dark horse.
Nah, I don't see it, dude.
Okay. That's wild. All right. Thanks for joining us. For myself, Jermaine Mendes, for my co-host, for the executive producers, the EPE, and we'll see you next time when you come on down. Wait, hold on. Follow us on Instagram, the artist formerly known as Twitter, and YouTube at Podcast Room303. Follow our sister pod, Revenge of the Pod, on all things social and wherever you get your podcasts. Till next time, we'll see you when you come on down and step into the room.